let me give you a little report from up here in frozen Canada. I was interested in Donald Trump going to the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, where he gave quite a speech, and we'll have that speech on tomorrow's show. And all the Canadian media seem to be saying on Twitter, online, is how can Trump even be thinking about other things? He's running away from the impeachment. Why won't he talk about the impeachment? Like, the Canadian media were riveted by this. So even if it is constitutionally and legally improper, even if Adam Schiff is unlikable and another one of the impeachment managers is boring, the Canadian media thinks that this is catnip. They think Trump is guilty, and I can only imagine how the media party in the United States are treating it. So you say 8 hours sounds like a lot, 8 hours a day. Well, that's enough to fill CNN's schedule. So even if it's not great, it's 24 hours of election year anti-Trump innuendo and defamation. So I don't know.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Remember how many of the Democrats are running for president from the Senate? Several of their leading candidates are Senate Democrats. They have taken these Senate Democrats and they've forced them, because they can't leave, they've forced them to sit in the Senate chamber for days and days and days, until 2 a.m., in fact, on the first day of the trial.
So Bernie Sanders is on the jury, and
he's in the Senate. He cannot campaign in Iowa.
And
Elizabeth Warren cannot campaign in Iowa. Michael Bennet cannot campaign in Iowa. Who can campaign in Iowa? Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, Andrew Yang, Tom Steyer, all the non-senators. But, by the way, Biden is coming up constantly in this trial. So he's not really escaping it. He's in the crosshairs, and he may be called as a witness if Democrats succeed in opening up new witnesses. If they get John Bolton, who, by the way, will probably not be a very good witness for them, but if they get John Bolton and whoever else they want, you can be damn sure the Senate Republicans are going to call Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, the whistleblower, and anybody else they want to. And Biden's going to be pulled off the trail. And this is all happening with less than 2 weeks to go before the Iowa caucuses. So, yes, Democrats are getting airtime to talk about impeachment. What they're not doing is talking about health care. They're not talking about Green New Deal and climate change. They're not talking about anything that is of interest to their own primary voters, most of whom, including those on the left, see this as a distraction. There's no way the Senate's going to remove him from office. You need a 2/3 vote to do that, and the Republicans are not going to split like that. You're not even going to get more than 1 or 2 Republicans to vote for that, and even that's a stretch. I can see Mitt Romney, who doesn't like Trump, voting anyway to remove him from office, but you're not going to get 20 Republican senators, and that's what it would take, 20 out of the 53 to cross over. Never going to happen. So Democrats' own voters who put them in office in 2018 want them to do things on gun control, and none of that's going to happen, and they're not talking about it. So Democrats, in short, have interfered with their own election. Now, as to the point about Trump being in Switzerland, he's not running away from impeachment. This is his case against impeachment. And it was the same strategy used by Bill Clinton successfully in 1998 and 1999. Not because Trump is guilty, as Clinton was. And by the way, I didn't think Clinton should have been impeached either, even though I did think Clinton had committed crimes. Trump is doing what Clinton did. Trump is showing the American people that he's still at work. Are you going to impeach and remove a president who is representing the country on the world stage, who is concluding trade deals, who is bombing bad guys, who is running and boasting about the world's strongest economy? You're going to impeach that guy? So Trump is basically saying, look, you can impeach me, but you're risking all of this. You're also undermining the country's negotiating position if you take me out of the game, and all these world leaders have to get to know somebody else. So I think that this is actually Trump prosecuting or defending his own case in the impeachment trial by doing what he was elected to do, so he can show the American people that he is staying focused while the Democrats are stuck in the Senate chamber.
That's an excerpt from the Ezra Levant Show, which is a show I do every day. I do a monologue, interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. But you've got to subscribe to it, which you can do at premium.rebelnews.com.